few minutes before church started to chat with you, to remind you of some things. I know you had a good night's sleep last night. Bright and early this morning, we're up and we're just thinking about how good God is. And promises, something that we make, and we need to keep them. And we can go in this life from pain to purposes and promises. We don't always understand the process, but trust God anyway. And you can remind people or remind God of the promises that He has made to keep us, to bless us with long life, to prosper us, for us to be in health, saving our children and our loved ones. I'm reminded of one Sunday morning going to church, and my youngest was maybe about 5, and he didn't want to eat his breakfast. So I said, "Now, if you eat your breakfast, I'm going to buy you a cake," because he loved little cakes. "Okay, mommy." So he ate it. On the way home, I'd forgotten all about it, and didn't really take myself serious when I said it, hoping that maybe he would. But he said, "Mommy, there's a store. You promised me a cake." I said, "I ain't buying no cake." He sit back there. I could feel the atmosphere shifting. I could feel him changing. So finally, he gets up the nerve to speak. He said, "I'm going to have to tell you the story about the little Indian." I knew something was coming behind that, of course. I'm like, "What about the little Indian?" He couldn't stop telling stories. I immediately told my husband, "Turn around, go back to the store." Now, we don't have to take it that far with Christ, but I've said that to make this point. If He promised you, He's not going to forget it. He's never going to promise you half-heartedly, as I did. If He made a promise, and there's so many promises in the Bible, every now and then, to truly appreciate the promises, you may go through some pain. Every now and then it rains, but after the rain comes the beautiful budding of the trees, the flowers, the grass, and all of those things. As it is in the natural, so it is in the spiritual. Many times we've gone through some hurtful places. I know I have. We've gone through some crying places. Of course I have. We've gone through some fearful and places that we doubted. Every now and then you can doubt, "God, do you really love me?" But He does. And you can walk in your promises gracefully. Because after the storm, there comes a calmness. And there's a calmness in Him. So walk in it. And walk in it gracefully. Walk in it lovingly. Walk in it knowing just how much you mean to Him. Walk in it knowing that He is going to lift you up out of any harbor pit. Even as David cried, he said, "This poor man cried, and the Lord delivered him." Whatever your cry is today, God can deliver. He can fix what's broken, and He does it right. So feast on this as you get ready for your morning worship. From pain to promises. Face it wholeheartedly. God is with you. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Share my videos. Somebody else might need to be gracefully and gently reminded about how good God is and how He is a promise keeper. Have a wonderful day. I love you tremendously. Blossom where you are. I'm going to be back to talk with you real soon. Blessings and love.